They don't yell. They don't panic. They don't even flinch. And that's what makes them terrifying. Because in a world addicted to reaction, the calm man is untouchable. He doesn't rise to your bait. He doesn't dance to your chaos. He watches and waits. He feels the storm coming and doesn't run. He becomes the stillness within it. You think he's not dangerous because he's quiet, because he doesn't bark or bare his teeth. But that's the mistake. The most dangerous man doesn't need to show aggression. His calm is the aggression. It's what Nietzsche understood better than anyone. That true power is not in domination. It's in self-mastery. He wrote, "He who cannot obey himself will be commanded." You think the enemy is out there, but Nietzsche knew the real war is internal. The man who cannot command his emotions is forever a slave to circumstance. But the one who can, he's free, unbreakable. He doesn't need control over others because he owns himself. You want to know why the calm man is feared? Because no one knows what he's thinking. No one can manipulate him. He's immune to drama, immune to noise. And when he speaks, people listen. Not because he demands it, but because when the silent man speaks, you know it matters. He doesn't waste words. He doesn't argue. He doesn't try to be right. He simply is right because he's thought it through 10 times deeper than anyone else. While others are impulsive, he is intentional. While others panic, he prepares. While others chase respect, he commands it by needing none of it. This is Nietzsche's secret. Emotional power is not about suppressing your feelings. It's about owning them, channeling them, turning chaos into clarity, anger into patience, fear into focus, pain into fuel. The man who can do that, he's not just powerful, he's inevitable. Because nothing can move him without his permission. No insult, no threat, no crisis. He moves on his terms. And that scares people, because it means they can't control him. Most people are loud because they're afraid. Afraid of not being heard. Afraid of being overlooked. Afraid of appearing weak. But the calm man, he fears nothing. And that's why you feel something when he enters the room. You feel the presence of someone who's already won the battle inside. And when you've conquered yourself, the world is just a mirror reflecting your strength. They sit in silence while the world screams. Not out of fear, but because they've already heard all the noise before. And they've learned it is not the one who yells the loudest who is strongest. It's the one who remains still, while everyone else loses their mind. There's a reason still water runs deep. Because stillness is not the absence of movement. It's the presence of discipline, of mastery, of control. And control is power. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this deeply. He wrote not for the average man, but for the higher one, the one who could rise above impulse, who could wield emotion without being ruled by it. He believed that true strength was not physical. It wasn't brute force. It wasn't even intelligence. It was will, the will to become, the will to endure, the will to not react. You see, anger is cheap. Anyone can explode. Anyone can lash out. Anyone can threaten. But not everyone can wait. Not everyone can watch. Not everyone can build fire without smoke. The calm man does not burn out. And that's what makes him lethal. You think he doesn't care. He cares. But he chooses not to respond. Because not every battle is worth fighting. Not every insult deserves your energy. Not every loud fool deserves an answer. He knows something you don't. Every reaction is a revelation. Every time you respond with emotion, you give away your position, your weakness, your trigger. But the man who stays calm, he gives you nothing. He is a fortress with no doors. He is a shadow with no shape. You can scream in his face. He will not flinch. Because he doesn't live to be understood. He lives to understand. And that makes him dangerous. He is the kind of man Nietzsche called the Übermensch. Not just physically resilient, but internally sovereign. The kind of man who governs himself, who answers to no chaos outside, because he has tamed the chaos within. He's not cold, he's just aware. He sees the game for what it is, and he refuses to play by the rules of the emotional. He has trained himself to sit with discomfort, to stare into the abyss, and not blink. Nietzsche once said, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster." But what he didn't say is that the real battle isn't against monsters outside. It's against the one inside. The part of you that wants to yell. The part that wants revenge. The part that wants to prove something. The most dangerous man is the one who has already won that war. So he doesn't flinch. Not because he's heartless, but because his heart is disciplined. He doesn't strike back because he doesn't need to. He doesn't rise to your bait because he sees the hook. He doesn't answer your insults because he sees the weakness behind them. He doesn't need validation because he's already validated himself. That's emotional power. That's Nietzsche's secret. To master the world, you must first master your own nature. To become strong, you must first learn how to stay still in the face of madness. The world will try to provoke you. It will try to shake you. It will test your patience, your pride, your peace. And it will succeed if you let it. But the calm man is untouchable. Not because the world isn't loud, but because his mind is louder. He doesn't need to shout over others. He has silence on his side. Because real confidence doesn't announce itself. It walks in quietly and changes everything. You can't predict him. You can't rush him. You can't break him. Because he's already faced everything you're trying to throw at him inside his own mind. He's wrestled with doubt. He's sat with shame. He's felt fear and kept moving anyway. So your words mean nothing. Your threats carry no weight. What can you do to a man who's already survived himself? This is the man you underestimate at your own risk. The man who doesn't compete because he's in a league of his own. The man who doesn't argue because truth doesn't need defense. He may look calm, but that calm is forged in fire. A fire that's been burning quietly for years. A fire that no one else can see, but that fuels every move he makes. So while the world chases attention, he chases precision. While others need to be loud, he needs to be effective. And when he acts once, cleanly, decisively, because he doesn't act to prove. He acts to finish. There's a reason lions don't roar before they hunt. There's a reason the ocean doesn't warn you before the wave hits. True power is never loud. It doesn't need to be. Because when it arrives, it ends things. So what do you do with that kind of man? You either follow him or get out of his way. Because he's not coming to be accepted. He's not coming to be liked. He's not even coming to compete. He's coming to win, quietly, completely. He doesn't move like the others. Because he's moved past the others. And in the end, when the dust settles, and all the noise has faded, only the calm will remain. They walk among us, unnoticed. Not because they lack presence, but because they choose discretion over display. In a world that equates volume with value, they find strength in silence. Their calmness isn't apathy. It's a calculated choice, a manifestation of inner mastery. Nietzsche introduced the concept of the will to power, not as a desire to dominate others, but as the drive to overcome oneself, to transform internal chaos into order. This self-overcoming is the hallmark of the truly powerful. They don't seek control over external circumstances. They aim to command their inner world. Emotions arise, anger, fear, desire, but they don't dictate actions. Instead, these individuals observe, understand, and channel their emotions constructively. Their calm demeanor is not a suppression of feelings, but a testament to their ability to process and integrate them without being overwhelmed. In moments of crisis, while others react impulsively, they respond with clarity and purpose. This composure isn't innate. It's cultivated through continuous self-reflection and discipline. They embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, understanding that adversity reveals character. Their strength lies not in resistance to emotion, but in the resilience to navigate through it without losing direction. They embody Nietzsche's ideal of the Übermensch, not by transcending humanity, but by fully embracing and mastering the human experience. Their calmness is a beacon, guiding others through turmoil without uttering a word. In their presence, chaos finds order, not because they impose it, but because they exemplify it. They are the embodiment of emotional power, not loud, not forceful, but profoundly influential. They are not swayed by the tides of opinion, nor do they seek validation in the eyes of the multitude. Their compass is internal, guided by a will forged in solitude. Cheersut. In Nietzsche's perspective, the Übermensch is not a tyrant over others, but a master of oneself. This mastery is evident in those who remain composed amidst chaos, who find clarity in confusion, and who act with purpose rather than impulse. Cheersut. Philosophize. This. Such individuals understand that true power doesn't need to announce itself. It is felt in their presence, in their unwavering gaze, and in the deliberate nature of their actions. Cheersut. They embody the principle that strength lies, not in domination but in self-discipline. Their calmness is not a facade, but a reflection of inner harmony. They word that often equates noise with influence. These individuals remind us that serenity can be more commanding than sound. Their silence speaks volumes, echoing the depth of their understanding and the breadth of their vision. They are the quiet architects of change, the unseen forces that shape destinies, and the embodiment of Nietzsche's ideal, those who have transcended the ordinary to achieve the extraordinary through the mastery of self.